Now we've got a good one to go over today because I destroyed pocket queens. And I actually just played this one last night. So we got a lot of good stuff to dig into. What I want you guys to do is grab a bottle of water, some Gatorade, maybe some coffee, sit back and yeah, we're going to do our thing here. And we've got a lot of interesting spots to get into before that pocket queen situation. Also want to say, you know, I've been playing this game for basically a couple decades. I don't really have a strategy. I know all the different strategies like GTO, ABC, blah, blah, blah. But really, what you want to do when you're playing is remember you're playing against other people and you're really just trying to outplay them, okay? You got to throw in the bluffs, you got to make moves. And as you move up in stakes, you're going to be playing against better opponents. So you have to deviate from these, you know, one theory approaches, okay? And I'm going to say this one time we got a great community. You could talk with me one on one, I could share my journey with you. And a lot more. That's going to be in the pinned comment. Also, if you could tap the like, and let's get right into it. And yeah, the community is also growing. Got some high level members in there as well. A lot of good stuff. Yeah, man, hope you guys are ready for this. If you have any questions, comments, things like that, feel free to message me. I'll get back to you below. And we're going to do our thing here. Now, to start things off, a little bit slow, as you can expect, but for the most part, you know, we are going to kind of get into this pretty quick. I threw some bluffs in the mix. We had a couple spots where the variance was on our side as well. But I think overall, you know, played pretty decent in this one, you know. I feel like there's a lot of times, and I'm sure you can agree with me, you get to kind of like one or two moments when you're playing and you have to make a decision, and it's going to either make or break you. It's just how it goes sometimes, you know, and it happens quite often, right? All you can do, like I said, is make good decisions when you're playing. And if you're making good decisions more often than not, then yeah, I mean, the variance is going to lean your way. Okay. All right, so we had a 3-7 suited. I actually thought about playing this, but, you know, I was kind of like, why would I don't even want to raise with this. And I don't really want to call player 2 if he puts a button raise. You know, if it was like 3-5 suited maybe or 3-6 because it connects a little bit better for straights, but 3-7, you know, it's garbage. We're going to get rid of that garbage, okay? I'm not even going to mess with it. I know better, okay? I know better. That's all I'm saying. All right, so nothing going there. But it is going to get good, so don't go anywhere. All right, next one we got a 2-8. Quick fold here as we progress. Let's take a look at the table. I wouldn't really say anybody was doing too good. Player 2's kind of up a little bit. Not a whole lot, though. I mean, you know, everyone's kind of just where they started. And then there's us, man. All right, player 3 taking his time here. I think this one just went, what? Check, fold, raise, whatever. And, you know, whenever you are playing too, man, you just have those periods where there's a lull. You don't want to force anything. You really just want to continue playing your game. But if you get anything, especially right now, what I'm saying, man, like you got to mix things up when you're playing. It's just so important. You know, you can't just play one style or have one approach. You know, you got to throw those bluffs in. You just got to do it, man. I know it can be tough, man, to deviate from what you're doing, but you got to a little bit. All right, player 6, player 3. Pot is kind of building here. Somebody have a sneaky 3 here. Look at player 3, man. All right, we're going to find out on the river here if player 3's got it. Doesn't look like that's the case, though. Player 6 goes for a meaty sizing. Look at that, man, the 80 piece. That is meaty, you know. Player 3 got out the way, rightfully so. All right, so we got a 5-4 suited here. I think we had one earlier. Diamonds, we got the clubs this time. Now I'm going to open here. I was put in a spot here where I had to, you know, figure out what I wanted to do. All right, player 2 re-raised. You know, I had to make a call here. And of course, this was not the flop we wanted to see. But player 2, he could also have hands like ace, king, ace, queen here. I would expect him to continue. So I actually did continue. River card was not what we wanted to see. So like no straight opportunities, no flush opportunities. Now we're just kind of in a spot where we got to like let it go. So kind of a tough pill to swallow right there, but it is what it is. So kind of back up to where we started again here. Now we got a 9-4 suited. You know, didn't really like seeing that with the 5-4, but it is what it is. Now I'm going to be folding this 9-4. You know, even though it's suited and we're in the big, it's just that this isn't going to flop well, you know? So a lot of the time you just want to fold this stuff. Honestly. We got re-raised anyways, man. Pretty easy decision right there. Look at this, man. Player 5 coming over the top. See if player 3 makes the call. He's thinking about it. Looks like it's close, man. What's he gonna do? Okay, after wasting the clock, he let it go. I thought he was gonna make that call, but I guess not. All right, which brings us up to our first decent looking. I mean, decent. Come on, man. We got pocket aces. It doesn't get better than pocket aces. And I got pretty aggressive. The nice thing about having aces here is we're in the big blind, so it's pretty sneaky. Hoping we get some raises going, and of course, player 5 first to act is going to raise this up to start. Gotta like that, right? And then it's going to come back over to player 2. So we're sitting in the big here. We're going to have a re-raise situation with aces. I mean, what more could we ask for? We got to put player 5 on a decent hand. He could have some mid-pocket pairs because he opened from first to act. He could have some ace, king, ace, queen suited type of stuff that maybe he won't fold here if we make a big play, which is exactly what I'm going to do, okay? Especially after player 2 made the re-raise. Kind of made this an easy spot for us. Now, I could have re-raised this to maybe like the 120 piece or something like that, but instead, I just made my move here because I was actually thinking player 5 would make this call over player 2. I think player 2 might be doing this with a lot of different things, but I think player 5 open raising, you know, from first to act here could have a lot of strong hands, but he did and he folded, which is not what I wanted to see because I was really thinking if he's going to fold, player 2 is probably going to fold. It is what it is, guys. It's the play I made. You know, I still think, you know, maybe there is a situation there where player 5 makes the call, but he laid it down. All right, next I have an ace 3 suited. I played this one kind of interesting, so let's check this out. Now I'm just going to call this. I mean, any ace suited, whatever, I'm definitely, you know, definitely making a call. And this actually, the flop for this wasn't too bad, you know. The thing is, you got to be thinking like this too. Like, if somebody's going to open raise first or second to act, a lot of the time they're going to be doing this with, you know, any 2 overcards, or every once in a while you run into some pocket pairs. But this was a flop that really favored us, I think, for a lot of different reasons. So I'm going to call here. The flop is 5-4-6. All right, so we basically have like an up and down straight draw to the 2 and the 7. We have an ace as an over. This guy's going to continue. I expected him to continue. So I just came over the top here. He only had like, you know, he didn't have much left. That's the reason I made this play. If he wants to call here, that's totally fine. I could see him calling this off with like ace queen, honestly. Like, I could see it. So we would be behind, but after seeing the the turn card, we did get there. Plus, we had the nut flush draw to go with it, going to the river. So, you know, it is what it is, right? Playing aggressive. Things are starting to go our way a little bit, and hope you're still with me because we got a big spot coming up here. I think it's after this hand. Now, 7-10 offsuit, pretty much an easy fold for us. You know, not gonna, even though we're on the button here, if this is suited, you know, it'd be different, but it's not suited, it's garbage. So we're gonna fold that garbage, man. We're just going to let it go, man. We're going to give it to the garbage man, all right? Let him pick it up. And that is what it is. All right, and here we go. We got player 6 and player 1. This is just going to be a jam situation. Player 6 is going to make the call with, let's see what he's got. King 10 versus queens. Ooh, not looking too good. All right, player 6 does not. Ooh, he got the queen on the river right. That was pretty nice. It's pretty nice. All right, so here we go, guys. We got the ace-10 suited, and I'll tell you what. Played this one super aggressive, and this was kind of like our moment. I kind of already hinted at this earlier. Like, you get in these situations where you have these like make or break moments. Sometimes you make the right decision, sometimes you don't. But basically, what's going to happen here is we are going to have a jam against player 1. I just played this the way I did. Kind of risky, obviously, but I was expecting him to fold a lot of the time here, but we kind of ran into it, okay, and got myself in a little bit of a bad spot. We are suited though, you know. It is what it is. So we're gonna go to a flip. He was a huge favorite here, obviously, but look at that turn, man, and then look at the river. Are you serious? Like, what's going on here? So yeah, that kind of did it for us right there. And, you know, I feel bad for player 1. That is variance. We obviously got it in bad there. I was just making that play hoping he would fold, but we ran into queens. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. Still hope you enjoyed that. I was on the right end of variance right there. You got to remember, I do post my losses here too. It's not like I'm just posting the W's or whatever, but I mean, that was that was a pretty brutal turn card for player 1. He was a huge favorite going to the turn and river, but they just compounded it by putting another ace out there on the river, man. I feel bad, man. I do feel bad, but that's how this is, man. We got a few more hands to go over here. You know, if you like that spot though, right there, man, you know, tap that like. And once again, you know, check out the pinned comment. I really encourage you guys to get in the community. You can talk with me one-on-one. You know, obviously, like I said, man, I've been playing so long. I'm going to continue playing, and I can just give you some insight, honestly. You're not always going to make the right plays when you're playing. Obviously, you're going to make the wrong plays, and you're going to lose. But like I said, in that spot, it's just one of those things where, you know, we were suited. Okay, we also had the ace. Queens just got destroyed there. There's no other way to say it. And it just happens, man. It just happens. I could have been on the opposite side of that. I could have gone in with queens, and that could have happened, you know. But, you know, the variance was definitely on our side today. I think, too, regardless of how that one played out, you got to remember, man, like, a lot of this stuff is also just being able to control your emotions and be able to play through and not let it get to you. And I don't let it get to me anymore. That's the thing, man. It's another one of the unlocks. You just don't let these things get to you, you know. Especially when you lose. You just kind of play through it, you know. You got to just live with the decisions you make. And fortunately for us in this one, it worked out good. And check out this bluff right here, dude. Check out this bluff. We got nothing. I felt like this guy was calling us light with maybe like a flush draw or something. So I went with the continued aggression and it worked out. All right, a couple more hands though. Definitely watch them, you know. Subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.